What's going on, YouTube? Friends, the families, the people driving down the road and you ain't supposed to be looking at videos, the guys at the truck stop, the guys down the Exxon pumping gas. So here we go. I got a new one for you. We're going to dive into a little bit of frog action. It's getting about that time of the year. And just want to go ahead and dive into what I use exclusively as far as rod, reel, setup, line, and also maybe some of my go-to frogs. You know, everybody's got their own perspective on their type of favorite frog, but I'm going to show you mine. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and dive into the rod, reel, and line setup. Again, this is what works best for me, how I fish, the general areas I fish. And I like to throw the MHX with Kisselcraft 7.3 if I'm pretty much within, I don't know, 30, 40 yards or 30, 40 feet from the boat. If I'm making a long cast, like through some really heavy junk, I will break out the 7.6, the flipping stick. But right now, this is the common rod that I use. I throw on an XLX 9-1 ratio, 65-pound braid, and it's a heavy, and it's a heck of a stick. It's got a good tip to it. It works the rod really well. So let's go ahead and dive into the frogs a little bit, right? So I believe there's only 2 or 3 different types of frogs. You have your pointed frogs like this one here, and your popping frogs. I use these ones right here when I'm around a lot of really, really thick stuff. Like if I'm trying to come through like a heavy lily pads or hydrilla or something where the popping frog is kind of it's just too much of a bill on it and it catches. The little scooting frog, as I call it, little bellowed pointed frog. That one there is where I use that one. Now the popping frog, however, I use a lot when I'm around a lot of isolated cover, holes in the grass, holes, the lily pads, and things like that. And they work really well. So there's 3 different types of popping frogs I like to use. This year, last year and this year, I've been really playing around with the Spro. Spro has actually stepped up their game a little bit, man, as far as like their color palettes. Like this one's like the bluegill palette, and I really like it. It walks really well. I tie a loop knot on my frogs, so it gives a little bit more action to it especially when you're walking it. Second to the best is the Gavacho. The Gavacho frog, it casts really well. It's got it's weighted, balanced on the back. So that frog sits up like that a little bit when you're trying to, work it. It's got 3 strands in the back. And, I'll cut those back if need be. Again, I tie that one on a loop knot. And it's a really good frog. The Gavacho comes in different colors, like your bluegill color, your white, your blacks, and things like that. So the Gavacho frog is a really good frog. I really like it. They're really durable. Got a nice solid hook in it. Actually, I replaced the hooks. I throw the Vector frog hook replacements, and the difference between the Vector and the standard hook is like this one right here. If you see that right there, that's a standard. If you look at this one right here, you see how much different, there's a bigger gap in the top. So the hookup ratio, so you don't have to worry about boiling the frogs. You don't have to worry about, bending out your hooks. Those hooks are already, boom, they're there. You see the gaff? There's a big difference in the Vector frog hooks versus the stock ones that are kind of low profile. You see that? And they're really, really heavy duty. So let's see here. All right, the third frog is another one of mine that I've been actually starting to pick up this year. Been really impressed with it. It's a really soft frog. It casts really well. It's got some good colors. Got some really solid hook in it. Is the KVD perch pad. This one here, I went ahead and upgraded that hook on that one as well. But this thing, it's really soft out of the pack. You don't have to do anything with it. The color combos are great. You got your black. You have your white or your off-white colors. But they're really good. So primarily, like I said, guys, the Spro, the Gavacho, and the perch pads. That's pretty much all I mess with. So if you guys have any other frogs out there that work better than those three, hey, send me a link or send me a message. Let me know, hey, try this frog out right here. I'll give it a whirl. Hands down, we'll give it a shot. So again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, head over to Vector Hooks website and check out their frog hooks. I promise you're not going to be disappointed. They're actually better than the stock hooks for any frog hook that I've actually ran across in the market. So, all right, guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'll see y'all in a couple days when I try another one. Peace out.